Qursha, episode 7, Mind, Matter and Meaning. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Episode 7, I can't believe it has been 7 episodes since I've been doing this.
I like your mysterious way of saying that. Really impacting on people, I guess.
Absolutely. Talking of impact, I have a very unique guest with me as far as my understanding goes. I met this person, Marius, named Marius. I met him.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro. I met him a few months ago. We work in the same industry, same sector. And we had a lot in common in terms of understanding mental health, understanding how people think. So that was really interesting. And he mentioned he wanted to be on the episode just to have his insight. And so, yeah, Marius, introduce yourself, man. Let the crowd know who you are, where you're from, and tell the audience why you're on episode 7, Mind, Matter, Meaning.
Well, what can I say? I am who I am. I am quite a simple guy. Coming from, not sure if you know Dracula. You know Dracula?
Yeah, Dracula.
Okay, he's my neighbor. So I'm coming from Romania, yeah, mainly.
Nice.
But I'm not dangerous like Dracula, don't worry. Bine, merci. Yeah, I'm here in UK, I guess that's going to be one of your questions.
Okay.
Since 3.5 years already.
Okay, wow.
I had a big journey here. Through Birmingham, Leicester, Cumbria.
Wow.
And I end up here for the moment, like in London.
You've been more places than me, man, in the UK. Interesting.
I'm going to take you with me next time.
Why not, man? I definitely want to do a tour of East Europe at one point. That's one of my dreams, of doing a tour of Europe.
Then you're invited in my country, man.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
We have such a nice... do you like nature?
I love it.
We have such a nice woman, if you like nature.
That's funny. In terms of Romania, I think what really interests me the most is, I would say, a few things. So, first and foremost, I think I should ask you, why UK? Of
why
all the
UK?
countries in the world, in Europe, why UK?
You know, I'm a very intuitive guy. And I'm, not changing, myself, who I am, because I'm going to be the same all the time.
Come on.
But I'm adapting really quick on the situation. So I was in last year of uni in my country, just between semesters. And because I paid for all my uni.
What did you study?
I was studying engineering.
Okay.
So because I paid, for entire period in my uni, but to do that, I was working a bit part-time, but more I was selling cigarettes, vodka.
Wow. Really?
And trying to do, this little deals.
Hustler.
You have to,
You have to, man. Even here, same case here.
Yeah, so I was just in between semesters, and actually I realized I had a lot of exams to pass from my previous years, and a lot of money to pay. So I couldn't do, the vodka and cigarettes deal because it was already too much,
What's the age, by the way, to buy cigarettes and alcohol in Romania?
18, of course.
18, okay.
Yeah, but to sell, they didn't mention, so I was start selling from 16.
That's funny.
And I just realized I need a lot of money. I couldn't do that thing, so I just pick up the phone, calling one of my friends to see what we can do, and say, hey man, how are you doing? He said, just arrived in UK. I said, what are you doing there? I'm working. What are you doing actually? I'm working as a chef, he said. I said, but you don't speak any English. How is it possible? And he said, you don't need to, bro. I'm just cutting. They give me the knife. I know what to do. I said,
oh wow, okay.
That might be an opportunity for me for 2 months to earn some money quickly.
Okay.
I said, can you speak with the manager? There is any other place? In 2 minutes, he told me like, okay, we can do that. He said it's all right if another guy will come. So next day I jump in the plane and straight here. And that's really funny, bro, because I didn't spoke, English in the beginning.
What airline did you take, by the way? I'm really curious.
Wizz Air.
Wizz Air?
Yeah, but it was first time and last time as well. I think, to be honest, the way they build the plane, they forgot to take to think about the legs of the people. The chairs are just one to the next to the other one, so you don't have pretty much
The
space.
ergonomics one, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Mm,
you know,
mm.
the cheap one. I was looking to
I
earn money,
understand.
so I didn't have money.
No, look, man. People go by foot.
Hmm?
People travel by foot. You know, so
Yeah.
you were lucky to.
I would
you know,
probably wouldn't graduate if I would go working to UK at that time. But yeah, so I was working for 2.5 months
Uh-huh.
in a Chinese kitchen.
Chinese.
Yeah, they asked
Wow.
me, do you have experience? I say, yeah, of course. Man. When they give me the knife first in my hand, I was, playing X0. I cut my hand, they say, oh. Okay.
Noughts and crosses.
No knife for you. I say, okay, I'm gonna cook. And to be honest, I'm really well now cooking, noodles, rice.
Oh, you
everything.
can actually cook.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should come once in my place for.
Yeah, no, for sure,
dinner.
man. Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I arrived, it was really funny, bro, because I used to smoke at the time.
Obviously.
Yeah. So.
That's a must.
I went out to look after,
Uh-huh.
and I found a black guy. I said, okay, that's my man. I'm sure he's gonna have what I need. So I didn't know how to ask. In my country, it's the same word for actually grass and weed. And I asked him, do you have some grass? And he started laughing, And he was looking at me, seeing me like blonde, blue eyes. Are you Polish? And suddenly I thought he's asking me if I'm from police. I said, no policeman. But yeah, that was funny. So
That's hilarious. So he asked you, are you Polish?
if
Polish.
I'm Polish, yeah.
And you thought he said police.
Yeah, I said no policeman, no police.
That is hilarious. That's funny. So what happened after that?
So I was staying for 2 months.
No, I mean, like, when you met this guy, did you actually buy from him?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Even I didn't speak English. I'm a salesman, so if I know how to sell, I know how to buy.
You speak the language of money.
Yeah, the body language.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. So I was staying for 2.5 months. I get back in my country, pass all my exams, graduate.
So sorry, you came to the UK and you went back to Romania.
Yeah.
So where did you come first?
So I come.
Which city?
Oh, it was Milton Keynes.
Wow, okay.
Milton Keynes. Yeah.
Random, very random.
Random, yeah. For me as well. I didn't know what I'm gonna find here. And I come back, I graduate, and then I was thinking, okay, I can choose to be engineer in my country,
Wow, okay.
or I can give myself the opportunity to explore, to know, to understand this world better, to come in a different environment like UK, more opportunities as well, different mentality. I say, okay, I'm young, man. I should, because I knew it. If I'm gonna go in engineering, my life is gonna be, totally in that direction.
Yes.
I'm more, with understanding myself, understanding people, connect with people. So I choose to explore a bit more, and I come back here in UK.
Okay.
This time, I can say I was living in China a little bit.
In
because
China?
I come in a Chinese restaurant at Birmingham.
Oh, again, another Chinese restaurant.
Another Chinese restaurant. And I have another story with which is funny as well. I was working as a bartender, so a guy asked me, where is Lou?
Where is Lou?
Lou, yeah.
Where is the Lou?
Yeah, where
okay.
is the Lou, yeah?
Okay, right, where is Lou? Okay.
So I was thinking, okay, if I'm in a Chinese place, that sounds like a Chinese name.
Oh my God, no.
I told him,
No way.
sir, I didn't see any Lou today around here. And he was going to my manager like, look, I asked the guy for Lou.
But ask for the toilet.
Yeah,
It's British slang for toilet.
Yeah, but when I found out actually that was the toilet, like, I was laughing a lot.
Hey, that's interesting because a lot of words in English that we use for many immigrants, not just from Romania, of course, from parts of Asia, other parts of Europe, even Americans, North Americans, and Canadians, they find it really weird and interesting why we use certain words, and vice versa. Yeah,
Give me some water.
We need some water.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That was fun in Birmingham.
The Birmingham accent is, no comment. But it's the most difficult accent for me to understand is Scottish.
What about York? Have you been in York?
Yorkshire.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really loud.
Man.
But I do understand them.
I do understand the word. I'm telling you.
Really?
I was thinking they are not English, to be honest.
That's funny, considering you cannot speak the language at all.
I knew it at the time.
That's funny.
I learned it.
You learn it.
in the
Okay,
meantime.
so how was your experience at this Chinese restaurant? And why a Chinese restaurant again? Was this another friend you had, or was it just you had experience?
Yeah. That was one reason.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I had the story in my head, but I probably will tell you another time. I'm gonna think about it if I should.
Yeah,
tell you
sure.
Yeah, no, it was good because they provide me, a nice apartment,
Wow.
and because I didn't know the language that well, it was good for me as an environment to start. And nice environment, friendly, young people, young girls. I like Chinese people, to be honest.
Okay, well, Chinese girls or Chinese people?
Both.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and it was a good place to start. My journey here in UK. Then I went. I think I went in Leicester was the next city.
Leicester.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's
I
a slightly
did
bigger place.
Door-to-door charity.
Really?
Wow, that was so funny. That was actually the environment where I learned most. Interacting with different type of people, language as well. And I have some funny story. I remember that I knocked on a guy's door and he said, he opened the door, said, yeah, what do you want? And I was looking to him, I said, sir, do you love animals?
What?
Because I was representing RSPCA,
Wow.
the charity animal.
Okay.
And he said, fuck no, I love my wife. But yeah, that was funny as well.
By the way, if anyone's offended by that joke, I really don't care. That's really funny.
Well, about the language?
No, this joke. Because he basically thought his wife was a bitch.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I thought...
that's my understanding.
Can we speak anyhow we want, like swearing or...
Yeah.
I tell you one thing. You know what I realized actually, talking about the mind?
Yeah.
I realized when you are in an environment and people, they are distracted by their own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
They are not, paying attention.
It's called daydreaming. Well, that's one element.
Daydreaming, yeah.
One element, yeah.
If you use the swearing words, taboo words.
Yeah.
Straight away you cut the noise from their head, and they're paying attention.
Vigilant.
They become vigilant.
It's because our mind, the way it's...
because that surprised them, using that word.
It's because we are more receptive to negative news than positive news.
That's true.
It's like, for example, right now we have a lot of people commenting on the live. We have a lot of people watching the podcast. Let me switch the angle here. Some people like this angle. Some people, a few people did not like it. The point I'm trying to make is those who did not like it, I asked them why, naturally, and it wasn't a rational reason. It didn't make sense.
You're really kind, to be honest. The people don't like it. I don't.
No, I like to. No, exactly. I like to hear people's perspective, but then I really don't care what you think. It's like for example, I plan on having some other people here on the show as it progresses. So people who are religious, people who represent people who are Labour, conservative thinking, in terms of British politics, people who represent LGBT, people who hate LGBT.
So you're trying to
man. I mean,
rainbow.
My dream is to have Katie Hopkins on the show at one point.
I don't know who is that guy.
So Katie Hopkins is a woman actually, but she looks like a guy.
She looks like a guy.
She looks like a guy, man.
Are you looking for a girlfriend?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a happily soon to be. Anyway, the point
married.
I'm trying to make.
You want to say married? Don't tell me married.
No, not married.
Okay.
Too young for that. Anyway, who knows, man? You never know. But it's definitely not this year.
Okay. So you're gonna enjoy life for a bit.
I need to make money, man. Let's be honest. I think the fundamental reason why you came here, even if Romania, compared to many other countries in the world, so for example, if you were to look at a country like Afghanistan, Iraq, Romania is much better, GDP wise.
Yeah. Let's say you can't compare because in Afghanistan, in all those countries, it was an open war.
Yeah, but what the point I'm trying to make is there's more law and order. So, for example, if I go Romania, I'm not afraid something's gonna drop from the air.
No. Look, a part of the government which is fucked up and corrupted, the people are, exactly the opposite. We had to be honest, I was, looking in the history to understand where we're coming from, Romanians, as a country, as a place.
That is really interesting.
And 15,000 years ago, yeah, when was the Ice Age, the only place would be able to, the life arise and survive was in Romania, in Carpathian Mountains, in the circle, because
Really?
we have mountains of salt. So
In Romania?
the water is not, freezing around the salt.
Okay.
So
How do you say that in Romanian? I'm very curious.
What?
Romanian, so mountain of salt or salty mountains. How do you say?
Munți de Sare.
Munți de Sare.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Munți de Sare. Okay.
I was looking where my culture is coming from, the traditions, the language. I was actually very interested about the history of languages, because my
Etymology.
language, it's very similar with Italian, Spanish, French. I can understand very well Spanish and Italian if somebody is talking in those languages near me.
Really?
So I was curious, how come I can pick up so fast? But if you bring somebody from Italy or Spain, they wouldn't understand nothing from Romanian language, or maybe a little bit. So I was going to find out, and I've been learning in school that Romanian is a Latin language.
Okay.
But Latin is a dead language. So for me, it doesn't make sense. The root of all the languages, first language from Europe, to be dead. So I was going to find out how actually my language was created. So if you go with the word unu, which means one, you and you, it's symmetry from both sides. It's actually the same word, you and you and you. In Italian or in Latin or in Spanish, the symmetry is losing. I mean, there's no symmetry. It's uno, U-N-O, uno.
Uno.
Then calendar, the
Okay.
word calendar.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same in Romania, calendar.
Okay.
But it's also in Romania meaning cale în dar. Cale means like way, în dar as a gift.
Fuck.
So the first calendar, it's
That's really interesting.
the most closest calendar that the one we're using today.
Gregorian calendar.
Yeah, was made in if you're interested about these topics, have a look on Sarmisegetuza Regia, which is a place in Romania which looking
Write that down for me, please.
it's very similar with the Stone Age.
Okay. Stonehenge.
Yeah,
Stonehenge.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
No, that's okay.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, sure. Let me just check the thing. Guys, by the way, very quickly, those who are on Facebook Live, I appreciate you guys joining in. Some of Marius's friends and family and people he knows are on
Salut.
Are on Facebook
Dacă
Live.
sunteți pe acolo.
Ce faci?
Ce faci?
Ce faci? Two of my people out there, and two of my friends watching as well.
Trei varvisele.
Exactly. Exactly what you
I like it.
I mean, I have a lot of friends, they speak different languages.
Yeah.
I have friends from all over every continent you can name. Apart from Antarctica, probably.
Yeah.
And the North and South
You
Pole.
don't have any Eskimo, no?
No.
Okay.
That'd be pretty awesome. Imagine you have a friend who has
I'm thinking
Eskimo.
about it, yeah.
Imagine you go there and take pictures with Eskimos. I think that's gangster.
Working in sales, I'm going to try to sell them ice to see if it
Yeah,
works.
I think you are that type of a guy. You probably could sell them fur. Yeah, and they have probably the most fur. Well, the warmest fur.
I'll let you know when I'm going to find out.
Definitely. So this is the
Yes.
area.
So look, I learned in school that
A bit closer.
Romanian language comes from Latin language, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
But actually, the root of most of the words of Latin, the root is in Romania. For example,
Really?
imagine the shortest form. It's in the language which was first, and then they expand the words and create different languages. Correct?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
they mix the words, or anyhow.
Yeah.
So it's like you put a seed, and then everything grows.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
first the seed, and then in Romania, if you say urs, in Latin it's gonna be ursus. So there is adding in Latin, the shortest form.
What does that mean, urs?
Bear, or lup.
Loop.
Lup means wolf. In Latin is lupus.
Oh, okay.
So the shortest form it's in Romania.
So urs is in Romanian
Yeah,
and urus.
ursus.
Ursus.
Ursus. That's the Latin form, yeah.
And that means like bear in the woods.
By the way, if you're gonna see me transforming in a wolf, it might be because of the full moon. I never know what's happening with me when it's full moon.
I won't be surprised actually, because you know a lot about the Ice Age. Who knows? You probably. You
no,
know.
I
am.
But yeah, coming back to the mind. How do you say mind?
Mind, matter, and meaning.
And meaning.
Yeah. Do you know?
I like this combination. How do
Yeah.
you think about this?
How did I think about it?
Yeah. How do you come up with this description?
I was under a hot shower for a very long time.
Okay.
And I'm joking. So it's quite. I mean, okay. Let me give you a bit of a background story. I've been thinking of doing this for a year.
Okay.
Last year, 2018.
You're a brave person.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, but the only reason I wasn't doing it because I was
Yeah.
like, I can't find the studio, I can't find the people like yourself.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on the same wavelength or different or many things in common, but generally speaking, like, you know, who am I going to connect with, this and that. So I put barriers in front of me voluntarily.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, I know, but that's
Yeah.
you know the
So-
first enemy of yourself. It's you.
The biggest enemy
Yeah.
is you. And the only person who can love you more than you is you. That's
Yeah.
what I believe.
Of course.
You know?
That's why I was thinking. Okay, we have three topics here interconnected: mind, matter, and meaning.
Okay, so
Let's take the first one. Let's pick up the
Okay.
first one for today and
Okay.
talk about it. What do you think?
Okay, so before I just elaborate on mind,
Yeah.
just kind of tell you the correlation between the three. So how it's
Okay.
related, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Very simple, 1-2 sentences. So you need a mind, you need a mind for things to matter to you, because those things that matter have a meaning.
You know, I heard the expression saying, "If you don't mind, it doesn't matter."
That is true.
So it's
That is absolutely
you can
true.
think about actually not only the expression as it is, as we're using in these days,
Yeah,
but exactly related to if you don't mind,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. So they are interconnected.
That's how psychopaths think. That's why they can kill people and then go to sleep, probably in the same room. You know, it's true. It's a psychological. I mean, there's a lot of theories on this. One theory is probably theory by Freud. I have one of his books here. Coincidence.
Nice,
Called the
nice.
Beyond the Pleasure Principle. I'll send you a link for it, which is really interesting. But yeah, that's the mind element, matter. So for things to matter,
Yeah,
it must have a meaning in your mind.
of course.
Otherwise, why is it okay?
Everything starts with the meaning, actually.
Absolutely, yeah, true. However, it could work in all different ways with each other, you know.
Yeah.
And the meaning, of course, if there's a meaning to something, you pay attention, meaning you give it your mind, of course, your time, and those things that have meaning matter to you. So if something doesn't matter to you, it has no meaning. For example, this is a real life example. This is a bit dark, but when you walk past a homeless man, a random person, or homeless woman, they really don't matter to you in terms of you're on your way to work or to the station, you want to go home.
Because you know why? Because your mind. Look, let's say from the. I'm gonna start from the beginning regarding mind.
Yeah, sure. Let's touch on mind. You mentioned.
You know, I want
I'll let you go
actually
first.
to ask you
Sure.
who you are.
Who am I?
Yeah.
That's a very deep question. I would say I am a product of my thoughts within my subconscious,
Okay.
the emotions in my it, which is something that controls the ego, and I am I am someone who is constantly battling their ego. Ego meaning, you know. So in the industry you work in, for example, you know, there's so much we do for 7 to 8, sometimes 9 hours in a day. And then after that, we want to do our own stuff. You know, you might have something similar, like you want to do around this sort of area. Probably like videography, music, or live stand-up comedy, something. But you don't have the time to do it, you know. So again, it's a very complicated question. That's like asking me, do you believe in God? Like, I do follow a religion,
Yeah.
but something. See, I don't like these questions. Not because I'm offended or anything. I don't like it because it's such a difficult question to answer. Who are you?
I think that's.
It's a very difficult question to
Probably
answer.
the most difficult, even though it looks simple. But I think it's the most important question that somebody can ask himself. Because you see, I see the mind only as an instrument that the consciousness it's expressing itself. So you see, it's quite difficult because
It's very difficult question.
when you ask somebody who you are, they might tell you, I'm a bad person or good person or maybe a mother, an enlightenment person.
Yeah, they always associate something good or bad or the occupation or title.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Most
Oh, you
commonly.
see, exactly that's what I'm talking about. It's about the identification.
Mm-hmm.
They
Identity,
use different identification labels.
Mm-hmm.
But all this identification, they come and go. They appear and disappear. So what's beyond
In
that?
what domain do you mean? In what sense do they come and go?
Well, you might say today like I'm a happy person. Tomorrow you might say I'm a sad. I'm feeling sad. I'm a depressed person.
Is that an identity or an emotion?
You're actually, somebody. Who do you think you are? You think you are an image appearing in your head about yourself, or maybe an emotion, or maybe do you think you are sometimes a thought about something or about yourself? You see, all these things, they come and go. But what's beyond? What generate actually all these things?
That is a good question. That's a very, very good question.
'Cause
What generates beyond?
yeah, all this,
Beyond you.
identification, all these feelings, all these thoughts. What's the thing which is never come and never go? It's always there.
Well, the
Because
first thing that comes in my head is probably God.
So somehow you're saying like God is expressing through yourself as well.
Well, 'cause that's what Christians think. But however,
Yeah.
me personally,
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing that comes into your head, in most people's heads, I would say, well, not most people, but yeah, I would say most people, even these days, the way things are a bit crazy at the moment, personally speaking, the way I see things, people will say, yeah, God, he's always been there, he's never, there is no start, there is no end,
Yeah.
he can't be beget, he can't be begotten, that's how it is in Islam, Surah Ikhlas. But the point I'm trying to make is, coming back to your question, personally speaking, I honestly don't know. That is a very good question. That's probably one of the best questions that someone's asked me on here. Because in regards to this, there are so many books I can tell you right now. So I think if you want to look at both sides, so if you want to look at the good side in terms of, how things are and how things can possibly be better in a sense where, not only you want to improve yourself, I think that's a different thing. But in terms of, like you said, something that's beyond you in a good sense, I think people turn to, for example, religion, they turn to spirituality, they turn to these schools of thoughts. On the other hand, you have people who are just completely against it, which is fine, everyone has their own opinion.
Yeah.
So people like Nietzsche, Beyond Good and Evil, amazing book. It's a very complicated book, but it kind of touches what you just mentioned. And the type of philosophy you just brought up is called existentialism. So why do you exist? What exists before you? What exists in your mind? What exists in your body? Like the biology aside, is there a soul or is there no soul? Because a lot of people believe, my soul, I love you with my soul. She's my soulmate. He's my soulmate.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people who mention those words, they don't know what they're talking about if they ask them what that means.
It's true because like you just mentioned right now, I learned in school that most languages in Europe came from Latin. And you just told me something completely different and pretty fascinating. Especially, what blew my mind was this calendar thing you mentioned.
Look, listen that on the land of where Romania is now, some rock pieces with writing were discovered, I think, a few years ago.
Okay. What's the name of this place or this?
Tartaria.
Tartaria. How do you spell it?
Okay, I'll write it down for you.
so for those of you, for those listening, the audio version.
So in Romania, it sounds Tăblițele de la Tartaria, which means the pieces of rock from Tartaria.
Okay, Tartaria.
Tartaria, and those pieces they are maybe aged maybe 9,000 years.
Wow.
Which is older than Sumerian writing.
Yes, Sumerian writing is a bit younger than that.
But imagine if a truth like this will come up on the surface. All the history that we know would change,
To an extent, yeah, it opens up new conversations.
Exactly. So somebody don't have this quiet intention to show the truth to the people.
That's
So
true.
that's why they wouldn't agree to make this, let's say official. Those piece of.
Do you think
rocks.
that's the case? Only because it's
yeah.
Romania and not America or UK or something?
Mm.
I see what you're saying. I
It's
see what you're
because
saying.
the history was writing by somebody in a way. So if this truth will come up, the history would change. Imagine Vatican. Vatican is quite big and strong force, even if it's not that.
You mean
visible.
Vatican in Rome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They are quite Latin as well. Yeah, so you can imagine, this kind of changing of perspective.
It's a lot. It will cause a lot of friction.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
It will cause
Yeah,
a
but
lot of friction.
Coming back to the mind.
Yes, coming back to the mind.
Yeah,
I want to ask you the same question, both questions. Who are you, and what generates beyond you? I'm interested in your perspective.
Well, to be honest,
Because I can't answer it, I kind of gave you.
But that's
I replied, but I didn't answer it.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
the thing, because this question is not. I didn't address to you, waiting for an answer. I addressed to you to make you think about it
No,
and answer
definitely.
yourself, and that's why I'm gonna do as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, coming back to the mind.
It's okay, man. We are gonna go a lot of places.
Yeah. Coming back to the mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm seeing the mind. Mind can be the best friend if you know how to control it, and if you are aware of how it works. But can be the worst enemy as well in the same time.
Yes, that is very true.
And imagine people, because we receive programs since we are kid. Yeah, your mother telling you do that, do in this way. You actually
Instructions.
instructions.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
seeing your parents acting in a way, so you start coping without even you know it. And when you grow up, you actually realize you have some patterns that you're working on, some habits, mind habits, which didn't represent yourself actually.
Wow.
So you're thinking what's authentic in yourself, what's matching with your values, what's matching with your emotion, your attitude. And I can say mind is made by patterns which are quite repeatedly. So I think if you become aware about how these things works, you can actually change them, melt the old pattern which don't belongs to you, and create a new ones. Another thing interesting about the mind, the ones who don't live in the present, they are only distracted by thoughts about future and past, and they are not actually too much aware about present. That's when the mind take the control over you.
You think?
Yeah, because you have, let's say, you had a big a event in your life which impact you very, very, very deep. Let's say you broke up with your with your girlfriend, or
Okay.
I don't know, you have somebody in family which is dying or something. And of course it's painful. And I'm gonna tell you why it's painful as well. But a lot of people, they are trapped in this thinking about the past,
Yeah.
about these events,
Yeah.
and by doing that they don't have the necessary energy to be in the present, to be aware about all the details around them.
Would you say they are distractions, or they are they are instructions to avoid what they did
they
in
are
the past?
distracted by the mind, which takes them back in the past to that event all the time.
Yeah.
And that's happening, the suffering, it's happening because of 3 reasons. Indifference, attachment, and how do you call it? When you hate something, when you don't want something, where you're against.
Resentment.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what that means, but yeah,
Say
I trust you.
Resentment, like you want to, you have this hatred for someone or something.
Maybe. Yeah,
Would you
something like that. Yeah.
Say in Romanian to the Facebook Live and all my lovely Romanian listeners here.
Okay, I have to think about it.
I have a lot of Asian friends who understand
Really?
Romanian. Yeah.
Ni hao ma.
No, Asians who look like me.
Ignoranța means ignorance.
Okay.
Attachment, which means attachment. You see how
Yeah,
actually how
it's
similar.
basically we've been learning Romanian our whole life.
But it's quite similar.
Very, very, yeah.
And I would say rejection. You have this word, like when you
Rejection. Okay,
rejection.
that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're rejected, you have resentment.
Okay, so it's quite.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
So,
So
rejection.
imagine. Okay, let's talk about attachment because I think
the
that's
second
the
one.
main reason that people they suffering.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
you're doing the same thing all the time. You know, you create attachments.
Yes.
You'll I don't know.
You mean habits or?
Kind of habits, but all it's mental.
Oh, okay.
So let's say you're attached of a person, yeah,
Yeah.
and you create habits of doing things with that person.
Hmm.
And what's happening when you lose that person? You're suffering. Why? Because of those attachments.
Hmm.
And you know how, you know, all these attachments, they are going deep in your unconscious
Yes.
mind, and
They accumulate. They
exactly. And once
they
you-
multiply actually.
yeah, they multiply.
That's why at 2-3 a.m. you can't sleep. You think about random shit.
They multiply exactly.
It's true. It's true.
So you might think, today I'm gonna be a positive person, a happy person, yeah.
Hmm.
But that's a very surface way of thinking. But deep, the unconscious, you still have the misery, yeah.
Yes.
The suffering creating by attachment.
Yes. Yes.
I'll,
yes.
I'll explain you what I understand. In my journey. I'll give you an example. Actually, I think it's better.
Yes.
Let's
please.
say you don't like rain, yeah.
I don't like the rain.
Yeah, you hate raining, yeah.
Okay, I have a different
But no, let's just
mindset.
say-
But okay, yeah, example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Okay, so you're going outside and suddenly straight away you notice it's raining.
Hmm.
But first impact, it's your senses. You feel, you listen,
Yes.
you see it's raining.
Yes.
The next step in this process,
Mm-hmm.
it's your mind straight away recognize those. The third step, it's the sensation of you hating the rain. First, it's the sensation, and then the thoughts arise.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think it's because. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think it's because the reason people hate rain because it changes their appearance. Meaning, you get wet, you have to put your foot inside something wet.
those are effects, you know.
Yeah.
But let's don't talk about effects. Let's talk about the process. So,
Okay, the
so
process.
first, yeah.
Okay, not the external, but the internal.
Yeah, there
Okay.
are 4 stages. Yeah, like
Okay.
first the sensation, and then
Yes.
the consciousness recognizing the sensation.
Okay. Recognition.
No, so first the senses, then the recognition of senses, and then the third the sensation.
Okay.
You have a sensation of I hate this, I don't like it, and by that sensation it's coming the thought
Okay.
which says I don't like it.
Hmm.
This thought is going inside deep in your unconsciousness. But if you're able to recognize the sensation before the thought arrive in your mind,
Right.
then you can actually remain equanimous.
Remain what? Sorry.
Equanimous, you know this word, like
Equanimous.
Neutral.
Neutral. Okay. Okay. I never knew that word. Okay. Neutral.
So you remain neutral, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you don't react. That's the fourth thing is reaction.
Okay.
And by reaction, actually, you create misery in your unconscious mind, which is always gonna repeat again and again if you don't gonna be aware of the sensation.
Hmm.
So, for example, I was going. I finished work in a Friday, yeah, and I had a Spanish guy who called me. Hi, man, can you come in my place? We have a lot of friends here. Drinks. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's Friday.
It's Friday, no?
Yeah.
And once he start telling me that, I have that sensation of, yeah, I want that.
Would you say it's attachment, kind of?
Yeah, it's that attachment of a good feeling that you're gonna, spend the evening. And
Yes.
with that sensation, yeah, the thought coming in my head, yeah, I'm gonna do that and that. But then
Yes.
straight away I remember, hold on, I actually told myself I'm gonna do different things. I'm gonna go back home, I'm gonna work for that. Because I was able to recognize the sensation, my thoughts change straight away.
Mm.
I recognize that sensation of, excitement. And I say, hold on, I might, probably like the moment, but that's gonna repeat again and again. I will never do what I actually propose to myself if I'm not gonna be aware of that.
Interesting. So this is what I kind of gathered. I like what you said here.
Yeah.
I can definitely break it down. One thing I like to add is when you have a thought, that thought happens so many times, you have built an idea now.
Yeah.
It could be business. It could be, like you said, someone close when it comes to attachment,
but
rejection. Sorry?
Are you aware of that thought? You created first of all.
Absolutely you are aware. But at the same time, you aren't.
If you do that, it's a good thing. But I'm telling you, look, you have advertising everywhere.
Yes.
You see things, you see messages everywhere.
Yes.
There is a lot of things going in your mind and create thoughts which is not actually you.
But you take fragments from the advertisements.
You should be aware.
You should be conscious.
A lot of people.
That's the strategy I use. I'll share this with everyone here. When I walk in a room, or on the train, or I'm walking at night, wherever I might be, as they say in British slang, ENDZ, ENDZ, which means the area you're from, or if you're not in the right area.
Okay, it's like a neighborhood,
or even if in a fancy place like where we are right now in the area, zone 1, zone 2ish. I count people in front of me, back of me, everywhere. I use mathematics just to be sure. So
you count what? What do you count?
I count who's behind me, who's here, who's there.
Okay, you measure everything.
I measure everything. I see who's there because remember. So this is a fun fact, right? So remember when you go on the tube, you see the yellow line.
Yeah.
There's usually a rectangle.
Yeah.
On the platform.
I didn't know until today.
Yeah.
Somebody told me.
Yeah. So you see the rectangle?
Yeah.
When the train passes, notice, right, guys in the road, notice this next time. This is mathematics. It's called coordination. So when the tube passes, it's stopping. That's timing. The velocity has decreased. Acceleration has stopped. The doors are opening. It opens at that particular rectangle. I don't know entirely why, but I think from an engineering perspective, it's maybe the amount of electricity or the way the train stops. The braking system makes it stop at that point. But regardless of what, always near that rectangle, the train will open its doors, the main doors.
So you know.
Yeah, so I know. And the reason I do this, especially recently, is because London, as I'm sure you know, has lost its mind, pun intended. Meaning there are stabbings, shootings, everywhere. It's unfair because I've read reports myself. Of course, I watch the mainstream news. On LinkedIn, on Facebook, all these other places, and even guys on Facebook watching right now, they can probably know. Can relate to this. People share videos, graphic videos, pictures. What I'm trying to make is this: I read all these reports and incidents. Majority of them are not gang related. They're just people who hated someone, domestic violence.
So you see all
family. Yeah. I worked with you, or violence, your ex-colleague, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend.
Or they lost something. Or
exactly. So I think it relates back to what you mentioned here. Yeah. Sensation, consciousness, recognition, thoughts. That leads to the idea that murder is justified in this case.
Yeah.
Did you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because imagine if I say murder to you, you're gonna picture something in your head. I don't know. And you're thinking, I could never do that. You probably could do it, but you can't run away from it. It's in your conscious now.
But then when you're losing someone, let's say, and you're all the thoughts spinning around that.
Losing someone like death or the breakup? Or any. Okay.
All your thoughts are spinning in that area.
Yeah.
Thinking about that person maybe or that. And your consciousness somehow, which is that wide, which knows a lot of things, it's limited on that topic.
It's narrowed. And it's narrowed.
Yeah, and that creates overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
Overthinking means like your mind, it's actually repeating the same scenario.
It's thinking of scenarios, yeah.
Yeah, in multiple ways.
Yep. Hypothetically.
You lose, hypothetically.
Yeah.
But then you lose the contact with moment of now.
Reality, the reality.
Yeah, you might not see a lot of details around you, which means in that moment actually you're controlled by the mind. You're not aware and you're controlled by the mind.
Would you say you're controlled by the level of attachment you've had? Because this is quite common in people who are stalkers. Who are stalkers.
Let's say that attachment is the cause. But then all these effects, like creating habits, thinking about only that, those are effects. That's why I'm saying, if you're aware to stop the sensation, to recognize it actually, and remain equanimous, as I said, or neutral, and don't let that sensation create you thoughts in your head, and you actually going on to think rational, all these effects gonna disappear straight away. It's not gonna happen actually. You know, I'm doing a type of meditation.
Really? Share with us.
I recommend to everybody which is watching now.
By the way, shout out your Facebook. What's your Facebook? Do you have any other social media you want people to reach you out on?
No Instagram. I don't pretty much have time.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I use Facebook to speak with friends. You know.
So there are people our age group who don't use social media. That's interesting. Not in a bad way, obviously. But I'm
somebody asked me what kind of movies I like.
Oh, okay. What kind of movies do you like?
Mine. I don't have time for others.
Funny guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing a type of meditation, and that makes me understand how the mind works, literally. I had a kind of, event in my life.
Okay.
Not a long time ago, recently. Which, I never had depression or anxiety until 2 months ago, yeah?
Okay, so this is like mental health?
No, it wasn't mental health, but was...
I mean, it is. If you're depressed, and if you're like thinking, as you mentioned, creating scenarios, not overthinking, but something's impacted you so deep.
Impact me.
Your thinking has now been so narrowed.
Yeah, like creating pain and, And I went to a meditation course, which was quite interesting, which gave me a very nice perspective about my mind. So first step in the meditation course was to close the eyes, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I was closing my eyes, finding a right position, like a comfortable position, keep my back straight, my head, and just focus at the entry of the nostrils.
Come a bit forward so the people can see.
Okay, so
I'm sure many people will be interested to kind of.
I'm supposed to focus only at the entry of the nostrils.
Okay.
And on the breath, how the air goes in and out. But you need to let the breath natural as it is.
Okay.
So you don't force it.
Uh-huh.
So you're just focusing here. Your mind should be only here, yeah, until you're gonna feel the air so, fine. So it's become very sensitive. Actually, you sharp your mind by doing that. But what I realized actually,
that is true, because if you do cardiovascular exercises and lift weights,
yeah,
it helps your mind think faster.
So
it's scientifically proven.
I didn't know that.
Because people think athletes are just silly people. They're dumb. They are very smart people.
I'm gonna try while I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Funny.
And so I was staying like that, yeah?
Send me the video. The meditation video.
Okay, I got it. So while I was staying like this, I supposed to focus only here.
Yeah.
But everybody who's gonna try this, you're gonna notice, guys, that you in 10-20 seconds, maybe half of the minute, your mind is gonna be far away. You're gonna realize you're thinking for a long time about something and you're not focusing anymore. And then you realize how less actually you control the mind, and how much the mind arises a lot of thoughts coming from a lot of areas, and you even don't ask for them. So I was coming back when I realized. Straight away, I come back to the...
Sorry, where did you go, by the way? Which area or which class or which country?
It was in Romania, inside of the mountains. No.
Oh, really?
No signal. I was for 10 days. We were like 100 people. Nobody. So we wouldn't.
So no family.
No.
Friends.
No phones. No nothing.
Oh wow.
Like.
See, that's what people say.
It was hard work.
I feel good without my phone. I feel good without this. I feel good without that.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of technology.
Okay. Remind me to come back to what you just said after I'm going to finish to talk about meditation. Yeah?
The technology?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I did the experiment at school. I will tell you about. So
Romania sounds like a cool place, man. But anyway,
you should come. I'm going to take you with you. With me. With you. I'm going to take you with you.
I'll go voluntarily. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
I'm joking.
Deal, yeah?
Deal, man.
Okay, so...
which country is near Romania, by the way?
South Bulgaria.
Bulgaria?
Bulgaria, okay.
Okay.
See, I'm trying to
it's fine,
to
it's
sound
fine.
English. North we have Hungary and Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
East is Moldova, but Moldova was part of Romania. It just split it because of the
It's
political.
small. Yeah. I know
things
Moldova.
With Russia. We speak actually the same language.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same language.
So in this region, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your story, but I'm very interested.
Okay, I forgive
Just
this.
just one question.
Yeah.
In this region you mentioned, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Moldova, Hungary, do you guys understand each other's language, or can you read it at least, or have a small idea or a bit of a understanding of what's going on?
Serbia as well, which I didn't mention. We are
okay.
very close. So Moldova and Romania is quite similar. We
Mm.
have the similar tradition, wearing, and the language. It's the same. With Serbia, we have similar language, but they are a bit, far.
Okay.
Like not that close like Moldova, but we understand each other. We understand tradition. We're not that far from Bulgaria as well, but they have a Cyrillic alphabet and they have a different type of speaking.
Okay.
Ukraine is more, going to the Russian side, and
Yes.
Hungary is totally different
Okay.
because they don't have the root here in Europe,
Where's their roots from?
in Asia.
Really?
Yeah, but that's long time ago. That's a long story. I don't want to get into because it's usually creating conflict,
Guys, shall we have him for the next episode? I think definitely. Yeah. My show, my fucking rules. You're gonna come next time. Yo, this is interesting. Hungary has Indian
It's a
roots.
bit cold here, so if you're gonna bring some hot girls, I'm gonna come.
Well, you just send me a list, man. Whatever girls you want, we can. I'm joking.
You said you're not married yet, No, it's fine.
But,
don't bother.
but you can send me an email at info. I'm joking. You get the joke, right?
Of course.
But yeah, sorry. So that's interesting. Hungary has Asian roots. What part of Asia exactly? Like, am I looking Asian or?
As I said, from near Mongolia.
China, Mongolia. Oh, wow. That is.
As far as I know.
As far as you know. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Please continue with the mountain experience.
Okay, so yeah, that was. We were like 100 people split to groups.
Two groups, 50-50.
Boys and girls. We
okay.
wouldn't see each other during the day, only in the meditation class.
Oh shit.
We haven't been. We couldn't talk with each other, so that was one of the rules. No talk. So you are with yourself only. You just receive instructions. So yeah, during the meditation, I was just in the beginning, focusing on here, and I noticed my mind run away. I was coming back, but the main thing, you have to remain neutral, to not become angry because you cannot focus, or because your mind is far away.
So only angry or happy as well? But what if you're too happy? You breathe.
You just need to focus
a lot.
Why breath? Why? Because the breath is the only thing happen either you're conscious about or not. It's something that you don't do any effort. It just happen.
It happens. That's why when you're sleeping you breathe.
Let's say it's similar with a cat.
Okay.
Trying to catch a mouse. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But the cat, while let's say maybe she's focusing as well as you focus on the breath. Yeah. Well, she's focused to wait for the rat, to come from the, I don't know, whatever.
The hole.
From the hole, let's say, yeah. But the cat, she wanted that thing. She's creating attachment of that thing. She wants the rat. But you just observe the respiration. You don't want it. It just happen natural. That's the difference. It's something, it's happened without you being involved or without you being addictive, because you have it already. So you're gonna realize if you're gonna try to do that at home.
Okay. So are you gonna show it now?
Yeah, I mean, you just find a comfortable position.
So for those of you watching,
I'm not sure if I am here.
Yeah, no, perfect angle. And for those who are going to listen to the audio version,
okay,
just kind of give them an idea of what to close, when to open their eyes.
Okay, so you just find
the mouth and
it
everything.
Should be silent in your place.
Okay.
Because if you hear things, you start creating thoughts.
Yes.
You find the right position. Keep your back straight, your head, like your neck straight. You close your eyes and you're just focusing at the entrance of the nostrils, how the air is going in and out. And if you're able to stay like this, being focused here.
So mouth is closed and just breathing from the nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
For 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
you see how your mind, how sharp it's gonna become. You're gonna notice all the details around you. Your way of thinking is gonna become much faster, because all the neuronal connection will become much faster. The electricity is becoming faster as well. And if you're tense, let's say after work, a day work, yeah. If you feel tense and if you feel angry or if you feel anyhow, by doing this, you just release everything. All the energy is balanced actually in your body. Sometimes when I'm going, because now I'm doing 1 hour of meditation when I'm waking up and 1 hour before going to sleep, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, after a day of work, when I'm just going in a meditation, state, I can feel. Do you know how it sounds when you close by the sea and you listen the waves,
the ocean, yeah.
You know, I can hear this noise in my background, which was accumulated during the day. But doing this meditation in like 10 minutes, everything it's become so silent and so peaceful.
Do you have a good night's sleep as well?
Yeah, always.
Really?
But since I'm doing a meditation, I don't need more than 4 or 5 hours to sleep.
Same. I don't sleep more than like maximum.
Especially now because it's a full moon.
Funny, you're a werewolf.
Yeah.
You're a bear and I a werewolf.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because.
So yeah, for those, I'm gonna make the story short. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Oh.
Just to make the story short, yeah.
Yeah.
You have no battery.
No, it's I have to make another one. Sorry, guys, on the YouTube.
Okay, so just to make the story short, yeah. So you just stay like this. You close your eyes and just focus at the entrance of the nostrils. You're gonna realize your mind is going away maybe in 10-20 seconds, but when you realize, you just come back, focus here, and practicing this, you're gonna become more and more aware about respiration, and you're gonna become more and more aware how the mind works actually.
So I was just checking the time. Guys, we don't have a third person, so I need to go back and forth. For those of you listening on the audio version, I hope what Marius mentioned really helps. I just want to relate this back to something I do.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something happened in your life which made you want to meditate the way you do at the moment.
Yeah.
And it helps, which makes
you
complete
see,
sense.
that's why I don't believe in coincidences. 'Cause otherwise, if that things didn't happen, I wouldn't arrive at the meditation. I wouldn't have this understanding. Another thing which I understand is how can I call it, the relation between love and freedom. I think that's probably the most important lessons I learned it in last period. And I want
love and freedom.
Yeah, I want you to read something actually.
Oh wow, this is interesting. Okay.
Let me see if I'm gonna find this here.
Whilst you find it, Marius, just want to mention in terms of meditation, something I do. And I'm sure a lot of people on the Facebook Live, and a lot of people watching this as well, could understand. Let me just change the angle for a second. So, I follow the religion of Islam. I try my best.
Okay, I know it's not easy.
It's not easy, but I find peace. I've been to every single religious place apart from a synagogue. If anyone watching practices Judaism and they go to a synagogue often, or they can give me access in terms of visiting one, let me know, please. But
yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I have a friend which
really
Muslim. Yeah, maybe he's gonna come as well if you mention.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely, because look, okay, two things. Number one, just touching on meditation, and then I'm gonna touch on things like mind, matter, and meaning, because we have done almost an hour, 58 minutes.
Okay,
time flies, isn't it?
Fuck, and I have a lot to say, man.
But so in terms of meditation, what we do as Muslims is 5 times a day we pray.
Okay.
It takes more or less the amount it takes for you to, for example, meditate 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you're a bit slow. like, or physically slightly weaker.
Or fat.
Yeah, or some people sit on a chair and do it, like we are.
Well, so you have to physically do something.
Yes, there are actions. I'll explain that in a minute as well. That's really interesting that you brought that up. So
it's kind of yoga.
To an extent, yes, because when you're, I'll show you the actions after the video. So when you're on the ground, your hamstrings, your calf muscles, you can feel the back of your Achilles of your feet, your back, shoulder. You feel stretches.
Doing stretching action.
It feels you feel this. You feel this the stretches, and then you feel the muscles coming back to its normal position. Anyway, point is this: we do that 5 times a day. I can vouch at the moment that 99% of people don't do it 5 times a day who are Muslims, depending on your definition. But fundamentally speaking, I'm definitely one of them. I'm not a hypocrite. I can't do 5 times a day. 4, maximum 4, sometimes 3. I try 5 on the weekends. Again, that's me. You know, I'm a very transparent, honest guy.
So you have to do that in a certain hour as well.
Yes, certain time you have to do it. So you do it.
That's some stuff.
So you do it before sunrise.
Yeah.
Then you do it when the sun is at the peak in the afternoon. Then you do it when the sun is just about to set. Then you do it when the sun is settled.
So it's
and when the
everything
moon
related
is up.
with the sun.
With nature,
nature.
It has a lot of astronomy, not astronomy, sorry. A lot of astrophysics is involved because, as you know, the Earth moves. You know, technically, we don't have 24 hours in a day. We have 23 hours and 58 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's stealing those 2 minutes?
It's just been, like you said earlier, we've been programmed in a way to just believe things. Okay. So 24 hours has been rounded up. You know, I'm talking about accurately in terms of mathematics. Anyway, and the 5th one you read is when the moon is at its peak.
Okay.
By peak, I mean like complete silent darkness. So I feel at peace, definitely. So I'll give you an example of an action.
Yeah.
When we start, we stand and we do this. So with our palms, we do this. Yeah. So when we do this, we say Allahu Akbar. That basically means Allah is great. Not in a sense where we are proclaiming necessarily, or we are saying, okay, this is the truth and everything. Of course, we believe that. But this means, okay, God is great. The world, the surrounding is behind me now.
Okay.
And my senses, which is my ears.
Okay.
Like you said, you're at peace, you can hear things.
Yeah.
My senses are now connected with God. I'm having a conversation with God.
Okay.
That's what prayer is, basically. It's a conversation you're having 5 times a day. And on Friday, as you know, we go in the afternoon as a group. Anyway, so we do that, and then we start everything, and then I'll show you the actions afterwards. When the prayer is finished, we ask for forgiveness for the sins we've done in the day, in our life, and everything else. And like, for example, in the difficult position you've been, many people are in a similar position.
Yeah.
We ask God, please help us, please forgive us, please show us the right way. And if there is a wrong way coming my way, okay, please stop it or slow it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes what we believe is that the reason bad things happen to you, or the reason you're in a bad situation, voluntarily or involuntarily, consciously or unconsciously, that's a test from God to test your character and your morals. That's a big philosophical debate in terms of why God does that. And if there isn't a God, why does that happen in human nature anyway? Like you said, coincidences.
Yeah.
I
don't pretty much believe. If you ask me,
So yeah, just to conclude. No, it's okay. Just a few seconds. So once we do that, like this action.
You like to talk as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me like I need an audience.
Who, you?
Yeah, like my ex told me like, man, you need an audience. When we talk, I feel that I need another person.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
support
look,
me.
literally, we have an audience here. We have the YouTube domain. We have so many domains, and I'm definitely blessed. I say this all the time, even if it's 1 view, or 100 views, or 1,000 views.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, somebody's.
I'm blessed because think about it. If you have 10 views, that's 20 ears, 20 eyes. That's how I think. Mathematics.
All the Indian. I have a friend. He's 83 years, but really clear mind and a really wise guy. You know what he told me? How much is 1 + 1?
2.
11.
Okay.
So when two people join together actually is multiplying, the...
That is true.
Yeah.
There's a theory, I'll touch on that in a minute, but when we do that, we ask for forgiveness. So this is the action. This is my theory, by the way.
This is your meditation.
No, this is my theory as to why we do this.
Okay.
For the past 2,000 years.
Theory.
This is what I think. I've shared it with some scholars, people who understand religion, all religions.
What they said.
And they said that's really interesting. So basically, when we do this, we're asking for forgiveness. We do that on our face because this is our identity. If I see you in the street randomly in, let's say, Germany, I'm like, oh my God, Marius. I recognize that face. From the back, you could be anyone. You can change your hair, but your face is unique. There will never be another you. Anyway, we do this. So this basically is, okay, the world is behind me.
Mm-hmm.
This, as we go round, is the world is back. So the world is kind of round.
What if you leave the world behind you? You don't put it back.
No, but this is, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Some people, they just do what they have to do and they just go home. That's wrong. You have to at least...
You need to understand the meaning, the essence of what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's the same, like, I'm seeing a lot of people, praying, Christians. And they just say, what they say,
yeah,
and fast, and they're just going to sleep or whatever. If you don't actually understand the meaning, because you talk with yourself mainly. You talk with yourself. It's like you ignore yourself when you saying fast without paying attention.
That is true. You're just mumbling words.
Exactly.
You don't even know what you're saying. You don't even know if you're saying if it's right.
Exactly.
Because
you even don't think about what you're saying.
This is really interesting. This is a fact. Because my dad is he has a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. And he shared something with me like there's only one language in human history that is the purest language. It's not influenced by any language. It has nothing added into it or nothing removed from it.
Well, body language.
I like that. That's funny. It's not body language, it's Arabic.
Okay.
Arabic has no words from Latin, from the Germanic language, obviously, but Arabic's older than the Germanic language. There are no Assyrian words, nothing. It's pure language.
Yeah.
So, and Hebrew is also derived from other Arabic religions before Islam, before Judaism, before Christianity. Again, its etymology is big. I'm still studying it, guys. I'm giving you as much information as I know. I believe half of the information is more harmful than no information. Think about it, because nothing is complete.
Well, I believe that you might feel the pain if you fell down.
Yeah.
But it's better to feel the pain falling down than being fear of not doing nothing, just without,
That is true. I mean, look.
I mean, if you want to learn something, like, you better risk, and if you might take the risk to feel the pain, instead of, not taking the risk of doing something, just, staying. And
I like how you're animated. You go away from the mic to show, and then you come really close.
I need to move,
be
bro. I'm a very active person.
You're very mobile. You're very mobile.
Yeah.
Just to conclude here, because
so you're going to the end, yeah?
Yeah. So we only have an hour. Definitely, you have to come back again.
Okay, I have a lyric for you to read it.
Okay,
I want you to read it because
please.
I'm sure you're.
Let's conclude it with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna conclude it with two things actually. So one is gonna be is it a lyric? Is it a song? Is it a poem?
No, it's a poetry actually.
Okay.
It's a guy. Okay. It's an Arabic guy.
Arabic guy.
I'm not sure.
Rumi?
No.
Well, he was
no.
Iranian.
It's
Arabic.
Rudyard Kipling or something like that. I don't have.
Kipling, he was Arabic.
I think so. He's coming from Arabic.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I'll give this poetry for you to read.
Okay.
It's not that long, but believe me, it's like.
Perfect. So you want me to read this, yeah?
Yeah, like a conclusion of what we thought.
Okay, so guys, Qursha episode 7. Let me just change the angle for a minute. Episode 7, guys. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. When Romania meets Pakistan in England, this is the beauty of capitalism. Again, that's a conversation for a different day. I really want to know.
I'll keep this in mind.
I really want to know the economics and the politics they teach in Romanian schools, given your history. But yeah, coming back to this angle, guys, just to conclude. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. Oh shit, okay, that's a paradox. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. Wow, okay. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, okay. And treat those two imposters just the same. That is something people live with their whole life. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, okay, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Okay. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. Okay, that's really interesting. And lose and start again at your beginnings. Wow. And never breathe a word about your loss if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose a common touch. I like that. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much. Nice. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Huh?
Wow, so this is a father having a conversation. That is awesome, man. Okay,
Yeah,
can you send this to me?
I have more. I have some of mine, but I need to work for translations.
Just to conclude, Marius.
Yep.
I asked this question to all my guests. 3 things you are looking forward to in 2020.
In 2010-20.
Yeah, we have less than 60 days to go.
Okay, yeah, that's
so 3 things.
Okay, so after having a lot of searching, of finding my place, finding ways, finding tools to develop myself.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a little stability, so I'm planning to start a business.
Nice.
That's one thing. Second thing,
stability, entrepreneurship. Stability from entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I have already the business plan made.
Nice.
Everything is prepared. I
Brilliant.
just need resources, and I know how to access them. And brave, I need courage.
Yeah, you're Eastern
and
European.
I'm sure
you guys have a lot of courage, definitely. I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
I've noticed that for sure.
Okay, second one. I definitely looking for self-development. When I'm saying self-development, it's not about information. It's about me as a whole, as a human.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind, matter, and meaning.
Come on. Come on. Nice. Okay. I like that.
And the third one, I think I want to travel. I want to discover. I like nature. I like mountains. I think I'm looking find that peace by doing those things.
Internal peace, would you say?
Yeah. Everything what's outside is inside. Let me explain this quick. I know we're almost done, but I have to say that.
Sure.
So, let's say you seeing something outside which you don't like, yeah?
Yeah.
And you say, I hate that people or whatever. I hate that person. But actually, everything is happening inside of you.
Yeah, it builds.
You just react to outside, but everything is happening inside of you.
Yes.
So it's all about inside related with
I like
outside.
that. You want to improve yourself before you criticize others.
Of course, yeah.
Nice.
That's the only way I can help others. Actually.
I can relate that to something they say in our language. So I speak Urdu. Urdu. U-R-D-U.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of Turkish, Persian, Hindi, English, and Arabic.
Where did you learn this language?
I lived in Pakistan for about 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah, I lived there. But in my household, my dad taught me.
Okay,
we used to have a blackboard. He used to teach us.
Okay, that's what they speak Urdu in Pakistan.
Urdu, yeah. And they speak Punjabi, which is the second most common language.
In Pakistan as well?
Yes. And they speak Pashto, which is more
north. Me. So you can be translator everywhere.
No, I wish I could speak their other languages.
I'll teach you Romanian then.
Oh, that would be incredible. I think we should, because a lot of shops, a lot of people I work with, a lot of people, you've obviously seen how Romanians have evolved in a good way.
Yeah.
In British society, we should know the language, in my opinion. We should know Chinese, actually.
Ni hao ma.
Well, that's a start. But the thing we have in our culture is the meaning is apne gireban mein jhank ke dekho, which means look inside your own.
But can you sorry?
Yeah. Apne
gireban
मैं
मैं
झांक के
जाके
देखो
देखो अपने गिरेबान दे जाके देखो
अपने गिरेबान में
अपने गिरेबान में दे जाके देखो
झांक के देखो. That means look inside your own look inside your own shirt, which means look at yourself first before you criticize others.
Of course, yeah.
That is quite deep.
That's the only way you can help others, actually. How actually? There's another thing. Do you think you can understand somebody in a situation if you don't understand or if you haven't been in that situation before?
Yes.
So you have to understand yourself first to understand another person's suffering or joy or.
Mind, matter, meaning, right?
Of course.
Marius.
Pleasure,
bro.
We're gonna
definitely again another episode soon. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you,
man. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
guys. Episode 7. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. Instagram is Qursha Q. So that's QURSHAQ. Guys, thank you for the love and support.